Welcome back to Fast Money. Take a look at Bitcoin going bananas over the weekend. The cryptocurrency topping 61,000 for the first time ever. Bitcoin pulling back today, but still up more than 90% this year. For more on the moves and what is next for the crypto space, let's bring in Meltem Demirors, Chief Strategy Officer at CoinShares. Meltem, always good to see you.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me. And what an exciting 3 days we've had in the Bitcoin ecosystem.
I'm sure it has been for all you Bitcoin ballers and watchers.
Well, we don't get to
there.
sleep. We don't get to sleep, Melissa. You get your weekends off. We were busy this weekend.
That's true. Are there any big sort of catalysts that, I mean, a lot of people were saying the stimulus passing. Okay, the stimulus passed. Are there other big catalysts to point to bring Bitcoin to the next leg higher?
Absolutely. So you bring up two really important points. The first is retail activity in the form of stimulus or stimmy checks going out. And the retail versus institutional balance has been an interesting one to watch. And the other one is really around derivatives market activity. There was a lot of activity over the last month or two. Markets are at all-time highs in terms of open interest. There was $23 billion of open interest on the Bitcoin side this weekend, all-time high, $7 billion in Ethereum. So in a lot of these markets, what we saw is a lot of leverage as people were expecting more activity around the stimulus checks, more retail trading over the weekend, which is a pattern we've seen since really the start of this year, is a lot of activity on the weekends. And then typically Monday market open in Asia, we've seen sell-offs where Asian traders are taking profit on Mondays, which resulted in some of the drop-off we saw early this morning.
All right. I'm also wondering, because I'm getting a lot of questions about GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and it was a big deal, or was made a big deal that it had been trading at a discount to the underlying last week, and that rarely happens. It traditionally has traded at a premium. What should we make of that, and does that have to do with the entrance of Bitcoin ETFs into the marketplace? Is that premium, is that going to be forever diminished now?
That's a great question, Melissa. And honestly, it's a question we've all been asking since the Grayscale Trust launched. At the end of the day, what it comes down to, at CoinShares, we have 4.5 billion in AUM on our ETP platform. Our ETPs are created and redeemed in real time, so there is no premium. They trade at the net asset value. But in the US, many of the funds and products that people are accessing, in particular, institutions and people accessing these products through their retirement accounts, they're really buying them with the intent of holding them for a long period of time. And the challenge in the US is without approval for Bitcoin ETF, we've seen the rise of these trust products. Grayscale was the first, but there's now a number of others in the market, including a Bitwise product. And of course, our friends at MicroStrategy have effectively become a Bitcoin ETF through their treasury holdings. What we are seeing, again, is investors across the board are becoming more sensitive to the fee structures on these products and some of the structural differences. And also physical Bitcoin is becoming much easier to buy and hold directly. Over the last year alone, there have been over a dozen platforms and institutions that have announced the launch of their own crypto trading operations, where it's really easy now for anyone to buy and hold Bitcoin, not just through a product structure, but directly with a trusted intermediary. And I think that's also contributed quite a bit to the drop off in that premium. Now, will it trade at a discount forever? I don't think so. Logically, that doesn't make sense. In an ideal world, the product would trade at NAV, potentially at a 2.5% discount to account for the annual management fee. But I don't think that discount will persist for a very long time.
All right, Meltem, hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa.
Meltem Demirors of CoinShares. I want to go to our own in-house master of coin. That would be Brian Kelly. Forget about Zach Kirkhorn over at Tesla, BK. What do you make of this move? And we were talking about GBTC and you're nodding your head. I mean, a lot of people were saying, oh, is this going to be easy money if you buy when it's at that huge discount, which was, I think, 11% at the widest gap, and then sell when it returns to the normal premium?
Yeah, so I'm not sure that it's going to, that premium is going to diminish over time as you have more ways to get into the market. And so, and particularly if we do get an ETF with potentially, a more friendly SEC, we may get an ETF, or at least the beginnings of an ETF, towards Q3, Q4 of this year, and that would likely depress the premium on that GBTC. But as Malta mentioned, there are a lot of ways to get into this. If you're looking for a catalyst, maybe you see some of the major brokerage firms start to onboard people. That would be a real big catalyst. Maybe get us somewhere between 70 and 90,000.
Yeah.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.